God bless America, land of the free. Thanks God, we live in a country where we still enjoy religious liberty. Do you imagine living in a country that if you profess to be a Christian, in retaliation, the courts can take away children from their parents? From the DVD project Making Waves, we are going to experience a powerful story about a man that cannot show his face, neither can he tell his name, when we go to the heart of Islam. The freedom of worshiping Christ in spirit and in truth is a gift that should be handled with care. Right now, around the world, there's a lot of brothers and sisters that don't have that freedom. But before we start our program, we want you to listen to this powerful song entitled Healing. Welcome to our program, A Little Talk.
Modern-day Istanbul was most likely settled shortly after Noah's flood. Settlements have been discovered dating back before the Phoenicians. Many will know the first name of the settlement as Byzantine, named for King Byzas in 667 BC, until it was renamed the City of Constantine, or Constantinople, in 330 AD. During the reign of Justinian I in 527, the population grew to over 500,000. From that point, the population began to decline over the next 900 years to a low of approximately 36,000 in 1453. Today, Istanbul is a city of more than 12 million people. Historically, the city has been one of the world's largest and most important cities during much of its history. I'm here today with a very special guest. Unfortunately, we can't reveal his real name to you, and we can't tell the exact location where we are, although people will be able to figure that out very soon. And you can't see his face because of security reasons, because of the issues he's going to share. Hakan, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Hakan, we can't show your face today. Why is that? What's your story?
Because of the security problems in my country, it's not safe to say my face to people because it will be easier for them to figure out who this person is.
Because you actually have a story about being a Muslim in the Islam religion, and you're no longer a Muslim.
Yes, I'm no longer a Muslim. Let me tell you my testimony if you want.
Please.
When I was a child, I grew up in a Muslim family, and my parents were strong Muslims, and though they were not fanatical. My father used to push me to go to the mosque, and I used to listen to the sermon at the mosque given by the imam. And those sermons didn't make any sense to me because the imam used to tell us that even if we are good people all along our lives, and that was no guarantee that we would be saved in a way. And the salvation only depended on God's last decision. So in my childish mind, that seemed to be a contradiction to me. And I started to keep away from religion for a while. And then years passed by, but still I had this hunger in my heart to follow, to find the truth. And I started to work in tourism. And one day we had a family from a country in Europe. And we made friends with them because they were so polite, they were so friendly. And I made friends with the son of the family too. Then I noticed something which was very different in his character. He was willing to listening to me. And that was something very important to me because even my own parents, they were not willing to listen to me when I tried to ask some questions, especially about my religion. Maybe they were thinking that in my childish mind I was not intelligent enough to grasp the truth, or I was not able to understand what they were going to explain to me. But this guy was listening to me, and one day I tried to ask about his religion. But I was hesitant to ask it. I tried to find out the source of his humbleness. And then he told me that he was a Christian, but he was Adventist. Well, I was surprised to hear two things at the same time, because until that time I didn't hear of anything called Adventism, and I heard only I heard of only Christianity until then. And plus, when I was working at the hotel, we had some visitors from European countries. And whenever I tried to ask a question to them about their religion, and they told me that, well, are you Muslim? I told them, yes, I am. And they asked me, well, so why are you asking these questions? Well, it's none of your concern, they told me. When I was sad.
Do you know why they said it's none of your concern?
I don't know. Maybe I thought to myself that maybe they didn't like the Muslim people, probably. But this guy, well, he didn't tell me anything negative. And then I asked him, would you explain me what Adventism is? I heard about Christianity before, but I don't know what Adventism is. So he told me about the seventh day. He told me about the Sabbath, and he told me about the second coming of Christ. And he pointed out Jesus as the Savior, not for the Christians, but also for the whole world, if they accept him as the Savior. So, well, finally I was happy to hear a salvation message, because I had no salvation message in my religion.
Right then, from a tourist, you heard the salvation message.
Yes, exactly.
On the 29th of May, 1453, Sultan Mehmed II captured Constantinople after a 53-day siege and proclaimed Constantinople the new capital of the Ottoman Empire. The first duty of the Sultan was to stimulate the failed economy of the city. He created the Grand Bazaar and invited the fleeing Orthodox and Catholic inhabitants to return. The bazaars here, the people, they're incredible. They're friendly. They probably know every language on planet Earth because they're salesmen. They're historical salesmen from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. From Europe, Asia. This is the area that everybody came to trade. Matter of fact, I'm told on a regular basis every year they trade 220,000 pounds of gold and jewels. Carpets. The carpets are absolutely fabulous. You've got to come and check it out. What happened next? I mean, I know your life has been totally changed. Share more with me.
Yeah. After 2 weeks, he went back to his country, and then we started to correspond with each other. And he sent me a letter, and he told me in his letter that he had a friend in my city who was a pastor, who was an Adventist pastor, and he asked me whether if I would meet that pastor or not, and I told him that I was going to be glad to meet him. And then I met that pastor in my city, and he had the same kind of character, and he was so polite and humble. And then we made friends with that pastor too, and he started to teach me about the Bible and Christ. And he gave me Bible lessons for 2 years. And at the end of these 2 years, I decided to be baptized, and I accepted Christ as my personal savior, and I joined God's family in 1997.
Tell me about the family, your mom, your dad, and your wife now. Do they know you're a Christian, and how did that happen, if they do?
Well, my wife and my father, they know about that, and they already know that I'm an Adventist now. And I lost my mother 7 years ago, and they're learning too.
But you had to keep this secret from them and even secret from your wife for years, you told me.
Yes, I didn't dare to tell her about my faith for a long time because I didn't know how she would react it. I noticed that God also had a plan for my wife too, so that she could find out my belief, finally.
Our viewers, they need to understand that this just isn't a little thing, that when we need to keep you secret now and the things you're sharing, this is not a topic that the Muslim religion tolerates.
Yeah. Even if we keep it secret for a time, and God has a plan to reveal this truth to other people, and I believe that God has a certain time for both my wife and my father, and with all my heart I believe that they will join God's family someday.
During the reign of Sultan Ahmed I, early in the 17th century, he decided to build a large mosque to placate Allah. The mosque was built on the site of the palace of the Byzantine emperors and facing the Hagia Sophia and the Hippodrome. The decorations include verses from the Quran, and the floors are covered with carpets, which are donated by faithful people and are regularly replaced as they wear out. But not all is good for you. I understand the police kicked you all out of church.
Closed your church? Tell us a little about that.
Well, our church building here, it's not registered as a church building. According to the Turkish constitution, it's not legal to meet for praying purpose, for worshiping purpose in a building. So when we meet together on Sabbath day, it is considered to be an illegal meeting according to our constitution. And that's why police comes every now and then to check whether we meet there or not. And a couple of months ago, they came again and they found us worshiping, and they took our identity cards and they wrote our names down, and they warned us not to meet there again. So it's very disturbing situation for us.
Hakan, have you heard of AWR?
Yes, I did.
You told me that you have talked with many Muslims that are searching, and our programs, you understand, are making a difference in their lives.
Yeah, yes. If they hear that these programs, so they can maybe practice. They can practice what they heard on the programs in their own lives. So that can be an opportunity for them to change their lives. So it can be very good example for them.
Your brother Muslims, there'll probably be Muslims watching. What would you like to tell them?
I want to tell them that God has always a plan for everybody. Even if they are away from the truth, there's a certain time that God determined for them to find out the truth. And they should never think that it is impossible to find the way of God. And just like with me, God will always make it possible for them to come to Himself. And they must keep in mind that they have a Savior, and they have a message of salvation, and God is always taking care of them.
My brother Hakan, hold fast to the end, brother.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate this a great deal.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
In the Old Testament book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 1, God says, I revealed myself to those who did not ask for me. I was found by those who did not seek me. That's what happened in the story we saw today of Hakan. Here in this great country of Turkey, some 70 million plus people. It's amazing when you think about it. This was the place of the founding of church growth in Christianity. The Apostle Paul came here on his missionary journeys and founded a number of churches. But then through the centuries, things changed, and Christians almost disappeared from this land. Isn't it wonderful that once again, there are people who are making the decision for Jesus Christ, those who want to follow him, and they are the seed, the beginning of another new growth of Christianity in this country of Turkey. Won't you join us at AWR as we broadcast to people like Hakan, not only here in Turkey, but in other places all around the world?
If you'd like to partner with us to reach people around the world, give us a call right now. 1-866-503-3531. Or you can write to 12501 Old Columbia Pike, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20904. Or log on to our website at www.awr.org. Thank you for watching, and please join us again for another exciting gospel adventure, because around the world, AWR is making waves.
What a powerful story. I think it's time for us to take religious liberty more seriously. Well, we want to say thank you for your undivided attention. And remember, a little talk with Jesus always makes it right. Until next time, may the Lord bless you.